Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is singer-songwriter Carol Montag. Welcome, Carol.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
We have an annual visit, it seems like, just about every year at this time when you present a Carol Christmas. Get it? Not a Christmas carol, a Carol Christmas. I see what you did there.
Yeah. Wow, I know. It was quite a thing.
Quite a play on words.
Exactly.
Well, you've been in the Christmas business for quite a while. Because you performed as a part of the tribute ensemble for many, many years.
Correct.
And then have been doing your own show these past several years. And we'll mention place and time in just a minute. But what is it? I mean, obviously, people love to come to Christmas shows, so that's why we do them.
Right.
Because people love to come to shows at Christmas time. But as a performer, what are you trying to accomplish in terms of reaching out to the audience with this music that is you always try and put your own spin on it, but it's music that people are pretty familiar with.
Right. Well, I just want to touch their heart, and I like to stay very true to the original arrangement of these songs and not get too whacked out, And then, laugh, cry a little, maybe, just feel the peace and joy of the season. Each year I try to think of a new kind of a theme. And this year there's going to be a bit of a focus on children, and that's why Toys for Tots will be part of
you're going to be people can bring a toy for the Toys for Tots campaign.
Exactly. A new unwrapped toy. And it'll be the last time this season that they'll have their boxes out. So I just called them and said, hey, can we be a collection site during my concert? And they said, sure. So that's what we're doing.
Who'll be joining you for the concert this year?
Well, Cameron Sullenberger, who is the co-founder of Revival Theater Company and also is the music director at Knoll Ridge Christian Church. He's incredibly busy, but I'm very fortunate that he can join me again this year. And he helps a lot with song selection. He's an excellent pianist and a singer as well. And then we also have Matt Butler, who's a tenor, a great voice, and also plays cello, harmonica and mandolin. But we're not quite sure yet all the instruments that he might or might not be playing for this concert. And finally we have Greg Kanz on the drums, and I think a lot of people know Greg from all the performing that he does. So
SPT and drumming in so many groups, definitely.
Right. So we're excited to get together and present our show.
You mentioned that a little bit of a focus or theme on kids this time around.
Right.
What's your process for selecting songs?
Well, first of all, there's a lot to choose from, and not just the traditional songs, but there's some great contemporary Christmas songs as well. And so I usually look at, what songs have I done in the past? What songs are I haven't done in a long time. And a lot of times Cameron will bring to me songs that I'd never heard. He brought a couple Amy Grant songs that I didn't know of, and a few other groups that I really like their music. So that's how the process goes. You kind of look at what you've got, look at what you haven't done in a while, look at new things, and then come up with a list. Sometimes things get taken off the list and something else put in its place. That just happened last week, because you're looking at the show and the tempo of the show, and do we have too many slow songs here? Don't we need something fast, and that sort of thing.
So in addition to this show, tell me about other activities that you're doing. You writing right now? Or?
No, I'm not writing right now. I'm just trying to get this show under my belt and in my head, because I typically like to have everything memorized, but it's been quite busy this year with other things, so I don't know if I'll have everything memorized, but nonetheless, I am focused on this show, and I have January and February off, and then I will be going to Texas in March. And I have a few, like 3 different gigs down there in the Austin area, in Georgetown, mostly.
In the good part. The good part of Texas.
Yeah, yeah. So, and those I put in place in January last year. And this past summer and fall, I was doing an Iowa Opera House tour where I focused on the music or paid tribute to the music of Joni Mitchell, Judy Collins, and Joan Baez. And that was really fun because a lot of these opera houses I'd never even been to. I didn't know they existed before that. And there's still a lot of them out there, so I could continue to do that. But that's all I have slated right now. I might try to go into the studio in January, and I like working with Dan Towie, who is a
we love Dan. Dan is on the faculty here at Kirkwood and also does some recording for us.
Yeah, and he has just been so wonderful to work with. He's very detail-oriented and always wants everything to sound the best it possibly can. So I might reach out to Dan and see if we could get together and record some songs that I haven't recorded yet.
Now you mentioned doing shows, in tribute to the music of Joni Mitchell and Joan Baez and Judy Collins. So you've had that in your head a lot over this past year or so. So does who you're currently kind of playing and listening to, does that, when you then hit a concert like this, does that kind of inform, do those ghosts start to come in and kind of seep into the arrangements a little bit, or is that just who you are?
I don't know that the songs I'm currently listening to seep into what I might play or write, but it definitely inspires me in some way. I find that the best way for me to get inspired to write songs is to actually listen to other people's songs. And the more I can listen to new people, the better. I know a few of my songs probably sound a lot like Joni Mitchell because I've learned, I originally thought she had maybe 4 or 5 open tunings. Turns out there's like 60 some. And it's like mind-boggling to think that she was in all those different open tunings. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah. Definitely. So I know that this is really hard this far out, and things are still kind of coming together. But is there a particular moment in this year's show that you are really looking forward to kind of what's that climactic moment that you think might be the place where everybody will remember from this particular show?
Oh, well,
what's your favorite part right now?
My favorite part, my favorite song, of course, is Silent Night, and I always try to save that for the tail end of the show. And then everyone sings White Christmas together. I think people really enjoy that. So there are a few surprises that I don't want to give away at this point.
Quite all right. No spoilers. It's a spoiler-free zone.
Yeah, we have a few surprise guests that are going to pop in. So I don't want to ruin it. But
So one show only, correct?
Just one show, Thursday night, December 15th at 7. It's a little earlier this year, so people, can get home at a reasonable time.
Being a school night and all.
Right.
Yeah.
And a work night. So
at CSPS, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
How do people get tickets?
They can go to the CSPS website and click on events, and then you scroll down and find, I think my concert is the last concert they have this year. You can also go to the box office. They're open Thursday through Sundays from like noon to 6. Let's see, you can also just call down there and get tickets that way. So in person, online, and by phone.
And Carol has offered a couple of tickets to a KCCK listener, so stay tuned, and we'll give those away here in just a little bit. And if you're watching this ahead of time before we air on Facebook, then you can tune in the radio and maybe win a pair.
Yep.
So we'll have that
Exactly.
coming up too.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, it's a Carol Christmas, Thursday,
Yeah.
December 15th, 7 o'clock at CSPS Hall. Get your tickets at cspshall.org, I think is their website. And well,
Okay.
Carol, it's always nice to visit with you and
you.
find out what you've got cooking for the holidays and other activities. Thanks so much for being here, and good luck with the show.
Thank you very much. We'll see you.
You can hear
Merry
the culture.
Christmas.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:30, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture, or using your favorite podcast app. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.